stick together, how you make my heart sing. Grew into this, I want us to never be apart then. Work of art thing, the way you pull me like a harp string. Every moment spent is working, that's the perfect part. See, I like whatever you like. We had to do right and do like two sovereign nations and try to unite.
插风云雾，浪花夜，冷风照起舞。中华夜，旗盖山一舞。中华夜，所向无敌。各位现场的朋友，大家好，欢迎呢大家来到了新竹街口工程师的主场。本周呢是我们南港轮胎双狮好友日的一个主题日，今天呢来到了第2天。 跟呢统一 7-11狮队合作呢，已经来到了第3年，也很感谢呢统一 7-11狮大力的支持。第1年只有莱恩来，第2年呢连球员都来了。而在昨天呢，我们4位呢统一 7-11狮队的选手还分别呢担任了不同的任务，而今天呢更是呢别开生面。如果现场的朋友想要看到 全年度最香的表演，也就只有在今天了。等一下呢，将由牧师女孩跟 UNIGO 为大家带来一段呢相当精彩演出。所以呢，也希望呢今天所有的球迷朋友一样呢拿出呢你200%的热情，为呢我们新竹街口工程师，为狮子军。尤其呢，今天有很多呢统一 7-11狮队的球迷朋友，可以跟我们挥手致意一下吗？ 好，我们同样都是狮子军，我们呢一起呢来为狮子军加油，谢谢大家，谢谢。在我们今天的开赛之前呢，我们首先呢要先来进行一个颁奖仪式，感谢呢瑞士钟表品牌 Oris 对球团的大力支持。我们今年呢特别增设了我们 Oris Power Run 的一个奖项。 每个月，我们呢会透过教练团、球员内部的投票以及球迷的票选，鼓励这个月努力练习，只是为了比昨天更进步的工程师的球员。而在呢今年的赛季12月的得奖人，我们恭喜新科队长高国豪。在这个奖项呢，会特别为大家邀请到的是我们瑞士钟表品牌 Oris 大中华区的 经理，欢迎呢 ，Mr. Philip， 为我们颁发一只 Oris 的潜水腕表。希望呢这个奖项能够激励所有的球员，跟 Oris 的品牌精神一样，持续呢带来最好的表现。恭喜高国豪，谢谢 Oris。 我们给 Oris 以及呢我们高国豪最热情的掌声鼓励一下，谢谢，谢谢呢我们瑞士钟表品牌 Oris 对新竹街口工程师选手的支持，谢谢。好的，各位呢现场呢所有的球迷朋友，今天呢一连串精彩的表演马上就要展开了。首先要欢迎呢是我们 中华职棒大联盟最强的吉祥物，欢迎 Lion， 以及人称薪水小偷鱼头君，还有莹莹，为我们带来精彩的开场表演。
and
谢谢莱恩跟鱼头君，我们带来精彩的表演。看完了莱恩跟鱼头君的表演之后，也请呢现场的朋友，你们等待这一刻已经很久了，可以将你们的手机开启为录影模式。欢迎牧师女孩跟 Uni Girl。Uni Girl 没有后方。
You can run away. But you can do it like me. 有人装点着你后的堡垒，不在乎讨厌轨迹越完美，慢动作生活默认性完美，女神降临让你没有防备。富人的玻璃，打开号角却想到每个舞台，启动计划带好笔带上你，带上你出动没意外，节奏的人 all the time， 跳进激光中飞行 ，take you fly so high。无比的想蜕变在末日之前，进化的誓言，好奇心不必遮掩。You gotta do, baby, gotta move, baby, let's ride。
I think it's very vital to rock around. That's right, on time. It's tricky. Here we go. It's tricky to rock around. That's right, on time. It's tricky. It's tricky. It's tricky to rock around. That's right, on time. It's tricky. Tricky. That's right, on time. 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 Ping pong. Ping pong。
最热情的掌声，谢谢牧师女孩以及 Uni Girl。马上呢，为各位介绍呢，今天呢来访的客队新北国王队球员登录名单：球衣背号1号林书伟，球衣背号3号陈俊南，4号李威霆。 球衣背号5号穆伦斯，球衣背号6号杨金敏，7号林立人，10号简佑哲，球衣背号17号苏世轩，19号林金宝，24号洪志善，25号聂欧玛，50号戴维斯。 55号曼尼高，新北国王 那就对总经理毛家恩、总教练莱恩、球员发展顾问许浩成、助理教练马克、首席体能教练张崇熙、体能教练刘振宇、防护员邱国凯、数据分析师林振宇、球队经理洪志虎。接着呢，也请呢现场的朋友将您的目光锁定大荧幕，请看影片。
万得罪。
共同语言 ，We are 新竹 ，We are Lioneers. Are you ready? 准备好你的灯牌，以及你最珍贵的东西，马上呢为各位介绍组队新竹街口工程师。首先呢，为各位介绍呢是球衣编号2号，传球视野超广的阿广江广谦。球衣编号3号，一球在手，希望无球的后场玩家，笑脸给吕明义。球衣编号5号，工程师的快攻线头，送给宋宇轩。接着登场呢是球衣编号7号 S6的年度新人王，带枪头号的小黑曾博宇。接着登场，也请了现场朋友给予他最热情的掌声。没有极限的李佳瑞。 球衣编号21号，备战超过210公分的火锅制造机波卡与波卡。球衣编号23号，不知道放弃怎么写的不死鸟与曲比。 球衣编号24号，人间射手称霸郭少杰。借用现场的朋友的声音，一起来介绍新竹街口工程师先发舞的名单。 工程师，球衣编号8号，新生代的高炮打射手小烈朱云豪。球衣编号6号，拥有3枚冠军戒指的得分砍将。现场的朋友，这个男人有多坏？那么射艇球衣编号13号，人称新竹的赤木刚宪 AB 班尼特。 球衣编号11号，从幻神变成我们心目中战神的小顺肖胜玉。最后为各位介绍球衣编号4号，攻守两端没有天花板的 OK 啦，高国豪。 新竹街口工程师总教练林冠伦，助理教练沈星汉、陈泽宇上，训练员黄胜富，影片分析师于继伦，防护员黄倩元、欧柏宏，总经理胡龙志，领队 Lisa 姐。 一样的，今天的比赛，让我们一起收奥。
这个版本写的随时都在滚，去抓怕了吗 ？Ready for now， 麦克我够胆敢，在哪里快，全都来得闪电，好利慢，真的越来越快，越来越快 ，Yeah！ 保持前进，别抢了路，能够前进，还看得住，想到这个钢铁上，连灵我的看了，一直装备上，把过去赢过的输过的路过的全部都往前上翻，我们收奥。 差距有多少？我们收奥 ，Sky's limit， 在说过迟早会摸到 Fight Boy。走着瞧，跟我走着瞧 ，Fight Boy。走着瞧，跟我走着瞧，没你汗水的磨练，没料到不可能松懈，一堆声音在叫骂，一堆人在看笑话。 好起来吧，各位，挺着自信。我上 proud 的心里 proud 你的事情。上进的男，觉得东西不差，低头看。而我应该留给英雄观。
的支持，谢谢大家。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth. Just a week until we welcome the Year of the Rabbit. Thank you for joining this English broadcast of P.LEAGUE basketball. For the second time in 2 weeks, we have the new Taipei Kings here in Hsinchu against the Hsinchu Lioneers. I'm Ryan Chen, your English play-by-play tonight after having a shift as color commentary last night with my sister. Today I'm joined by Kirk Long. Welcome to the broadcast.
It's great to be here, Ryan.
We got the team standings there on your screen. After last night's win over the Dreamers, the Lioneers climbed above the Braves for third place in the standings, while Kings are in sole possession of first place for 5 straight weeks. They would really feel good about the upcoming break, keeping the Pilots at bay. Kyle Zuozongkai and Wang Boling will be providing the Mandarin commentary. We're on the English side. Kirk, kind of cut short your welcome there, but right before the Lunar New Year's, everyone wants to head to the break with some good vibes on their minds and, of course, in the standings as well.
Yeah, most definitely, and especially here at home, the Lioneers definitely want to get over this hump and try to beat this Kings team that's ahead of them in the standings. So it'd be great for their confidence.
Yesterday they pulled out a
大家好，我是嘉怡，欢迎来到工程师主场欣赏精彩的比赛。今天呢是双狮主题日，所以莱恩还有瑞迪已经在嘉怡的身边了。不过话说，这2位是不是很久没见面啦？你们2个？哇，我们大约快半年没有见面了，你们是不是很想对方呢？那平常到底要怎么联系感情啊？这样感情会不会变淡呢？会不会啊？不会吗？哦，其实我们感情一直都很不错，也是啦。如果是真兄弟的话，这个不论距离多远，都会感情很好。哎，等一下，那个我人家还在这，但是今天双狮主题日，2位是不是有什么样的任务要来执行呢？好，什么样的任务？我来看一下。好，揭晓今天的双狮好友日，我们会在场上分出胜负。哎，对耶，今天中场呢，瑞迪以及莱恩要进行的是5个项目的大 PK。到底你们觉得你们自己谁会赢？当然是自己投自己一票啦。但是到底谁会赢呢？我们中场见分晓。继续回到精彩的比赛。
So the mascot for the Uni President 7-Eleven Lions is Lion. Good buds with Reddy. The first 2 to get involved with the Lions and Lioneers crossover event 2 seasons ago, and now they brought in players last year. Now they brought in players and mascots, and they even brought in Saba Boy and Ying Ying, so that's a lot of fun. Just while I have the baseball attention, the Lions have won 10 titles, which is the most in the CPBL, but the brothers are chasing after them now with 9 titles and 2 back-to-back. Well, back onto the matchup at hand, it's the Kings and Lioneers again, and playing a big part in this season series is Joseph Lin, and it's going to be an interesting challenge for him and the backcourt mates as Kyle Lee Kai-yin won't be in the lineup for the Kings.
Yeah, we know Joseph's definitely up for the task, and we saw his efficient shooting last time he was in this gym, and you mentioned how, you know, he's had several good shooting nights. His best of the season against this Lioneers team. So we'll see if the Lioneers come out with a different strategy to try to keep him off the three-point line.
You know, we haven't lost 2 games in a row this year. We've been playing super tough, super physical. I think we've won every game in, you know, every which way possible. We've been up big, we've been down, we've lost leads, we've come back from leads. And I think our togetherness has been fantastic. It's been better than all of last year. So I'm very happy with our performance this far this year. I think the big thing for us is making sure that we're consistent with our practice. Obviously, last year we had some different circumstances with some injuries, with COVID. That changes a few things. But for us this year, just continue with the work that we're putting in. We want our guys to have a break for the Chinese New Year, have a little time off. I think it's good physically and mentally. But for us, just continue with what we're doing. We're not doing anything, like there's no secret plan that we have. So for us to continue with our process, our practice, our workouts, our togetherness, that's the most important thing for us. So that's what we're going to continue to do throughout the rest of the season.
Sitting 9 games above 500 must be a good feeling, but Kirk, I think it would help that the Kings also have a team chasing them for that first #1 overall seed on the regular season. So we have a long way to go to determine where everyone stands at the end.
Yeah, definitely a lot of months of basketball left, and you want to try to stay mentally sharp and know that, you know, if you take a mental break or have a mental lapse 1 week, you know, there's teams right behind you, you know, chasing after. So they want to get as much cushion as possible in the standings going into the second half of the season.
They'll be sticking with the familiar duo of Kenny Manigault and Byron Mullins to try to power through with another win before their break. Their Tuesday game, originally scheduled against the Steelers, was actually going to be postponed because there's too many positive COVID cases in the Steelers camp. So kind of changes the dynamic of how they get to focus on this one game. But on the Lioneers side, having a hard-fought victory last night, and a big player in that game was Evan Lee Jia-Rui.
Yeah, and Evan, you know, he's one of those Lioneers players that they look to him as leadership. He's been a captain for this squad, and we definitely know he has that strength of spacing the floor with some outside shooting, but has that length also, which a lot of guys don't have in the league, to really go off the dribble and get to the basket.
最近都是在拉锯战，然后中会比较跟去年相比的胜率比较高嘛，然后觉得大家可能在进攻的耐心上面比较跟去年相比比较充足，然后在传球上面的选择可能也比较专注度比较高一点，所以可能在关键时刻我们的处理球会比较稳这样。对，因为穆伦斯跟 Q 都是很好的洋将，然后也都有外线能力，然后我们就是最主要还是要停住他们的外线，然后把他们的伤害破坏力降到最低嘛，然后这样球队赢球胜率才会加大的。
Evan finishing off his answers there with an emphasis on the defensive end, which I'm sure is to the delight or maybe instructions of the Lioneers coaching staff, saying Quincy Davis and Mullins are good shooters, but they need to reduce their damage on the offensive end. And the first question was asked about how the Lioneers have played in a lot of close games and actually prevailed a lot this season. And he shared that their patience and sound decision-making in the key moments of the game have especially helped them. And to back that up statistically, the Lioneers are 6-0 in games with the final margin is within 6 points. But I think the downside is they've also have 7 losses of more than 10 points versus only 1 win of 24 points against the Steelers. So right now, like you said, the Lioneers are trying to settle into form, and this long homestand has been challenging, but they've also stacked some wins on their own side.
Yeah, you want to develop some confidence at home. You got to get behind your fans, and you got to increase your level of defense especially, and just keep teams under 100 points as the Lioneers average about 90, and you know that defensive effort is what can help you really win those home games, keep them close.
Chen Tongming will be the crew chief of tonight's officiating staff. And the starting 5 for the visiting Kings will be Byron Mullins, James Susi-Shen, Joseph Lin, Kenny Manigault, and Amigo Yang Jimmy. So the same set as last week. And for the Lioneers, they're going to change things up with their import duo. It's Zhou Weihao, Xiao Sun-Yi, Anthony Bennett, Tariq Wei, and Oscar Gao Guohao. So the Lioneers featuring their kind of uni-president colored green, yellows, and oranges. And of course, with the Lioneers purple trim, and sponsoring this weekend for the 3rd season in a row, it's Executive Janet with the Nankang Rubber Tire Company. While the Kings will be wearing their traditionally rode black set of New Taipei there. And once again, a reminder, the Lioneers have a tough sequence for themselves, having played last night at 7 p.m. and 5 p.m. tonight, Hsinchu time, local time. Though, a little hint, Kirk, if you didn't know, Taiwan is the same time zone from top to bottom, left to right.
Actually, where I grew up in the Philippines, it's the same time zone as Taiwan also. So
well, that must really help with your...
does help travels or talking to family back home in the Philippines.
All right, it's Byron Mullins and Anthony Bennett in the middle, and eventually falls to Joseph Lin. Curiously enough, choosing some purple sneakers for this matchup. Over to Kenny Manigault, down to Mullins, but the Lioneers are on top of it. Then a drive left open and a late whistle coming in from the baseline. An early foul, and right now Kenny Manigault, the spearhead of the Kings offense.
Yeah, he definitely is. You know, they had a good set play, didn't unfold like they wanted to, but Manigol's one of those guys who can create late in the shot clock. And besides just creating for himself, he gets over 5 assists a game, leading the Kings in the assist category as well. And so it just shows you how he can create for himself, but also creates for his teammates more often than not, too.
That assist number is good for 3rd overall in the rankings in the Plus League, though I'm sure he wants to improve his field goal percentage. And there's his free throw routine, which Byron Mullins pointed out in the Kings Weekly Journal. Only 1 for 2 that trip, so they get the scoring started. So far the season series, 2-0 to the Kings. Once in Xinzhuang of New Taipei, and once here, that of course last week. It's Bennett, the ball handler, getting the screen from White, and he buries the 3.
It's a great sign for the Lioneers to see him getting a shot going early. We know he can stroke the ball and really space the floor, and that will help a lot of other aspects of their offense.
Down to Mullins. He's got a height advantage on Bennett. Third baseline, his jumper, no good, and a dangerous batted ball by Junior Hall right to Joseph Lin's hands. Not advisable, leaving James open. Just like before, a lot of Kings offensive rebounds in there. A nice find by Migo. Big Sushi with a score.
That's where the Lioneers struggled some last time this matchup as well. You know, they played great defense. They forced 2 misses, and it can be, you know, devastating for that team that's playing hard on defense to not corral those rebounds and take advantage of that stop.
A foul on the other end by the Lioneers. Little pistol action. Bennett 2 for 2, and starting to dance early here.
Yeah, you got to stay connected if you're the Kings. Nice pick and roll. He popped, and he has all the confidence in the world to pull that trigger right away.
James fakes the pass, and a foul call first before we have some volleyball action. We've got to go find that basketball. Kind of imitating what the Dreamers like to run up top with a little 3-man action. But that's something I haven't seen much from the Dreamers, is a dance on the half-court line. So already 2 team fouls by the Lioneers. They're going to call a holding foul on the entry pass. So just like that, it's 3.
And the Lioneers trying to switch those baseline screens that the Kings are setting, and when you switch that, oftentimes you get left with a mismatch. And Kings doing the smart move by trying to get the ball inside with their height advantage.
Joseph Lin gets an opening from top. He knocks it down. And that is probably the #1 priority for the Lioneers. He's really giving it to them this season. Bennett can't go 3 for 3, but Xiao gets the reverse layup.
That's great. That's where the Lioneers can really up their game and sort of get over the hump of beating this Kings team, is get some of those hustle points, get some of those offensive rebounds of your own, and score those second chance points.
Byron Mullins goes to the left hand. No good the first time, and James lucky with the tip in. So the score is tied at 8. White avoiding Mullins. Could not get the finish, though. Joseph Lin with White guarding. Poked out of bounds by the Lioneers. Joseph Lin famously 6 for 6, 22 points in their last matchup. I think provided the Kings with a lot of early momentum. Down the stretch, Byron Mullins, 8 for 10 free throw shooting, 23 points, kind of sealed the deal. Pass to nowhere, and ball out of bounds.
Yeah, Amigo has to take that shot. You know, he's too good of a scorer, too good of a shooter. You run an inbounds play, he curls off the screen, he's open at the elbow, and he just needs to pull that trigger. That time being a little bit too unselfish.
The Kings were able to execute on the baseline out of bounds a couple times easily last week for some easy scores, and a illegal screen by Bennett. Dropped his shoulder a little too hard there. Well, so far in the game, it's been a tighter whistle than before. Oscar gets a hand on it. The scramble for the basketball eventually falls out of bounds, but one thing that the Lioneers have proven, they're tough on back-to-backs.
Starts with the attitude of Oscar, their captain right there too, who knows it's important to come out and play tough from the beginning, but maybe a little too overzealous that time as he picks up an early second foul.
And the referees don't notice it, but there's supposed to be free throws coming up. And the Kings have one opportunity on the offensive end with a size advantage, and that's Oscar playing with, you could say, 3 or 4 wing players alongside. He's a tough defender, but if you keep going at him, maybe some things will work out.
Yeah, he's gonna have to play smart here the rest of this first half. He wouldn't want to pick up 3 fouls. So you're right, if you're the Kings, you want to try to continue to put him in positions where, you know, he has to not be so aggressive on defense.
A little bit of trouble and a foul by the Kings. We got 2 on Oscar. Defensively, we already established he had 2 personal fouls. One thing too for the Lioneers, they don't get a lot of production and efficiency, I should say, from their imports, in particular against the Kings. White and Bennett fell to just 27 on 26% field goal shooting last week. Xiao all net with that corner 3.
Yeah, he had that opportunity late in the shot clock and did not take it, but hey, you get a second look at it. He said, why not? And all net on that shot from the corner.
Manigo going on Turianhal, and look at that bounce. Easy score for him.
Very easy in the spin cycle, and Manigault just putting his head down and showing us that athleticism. And you got to have some better help side defense if you're the Lioneers when Manigault has the ball in his hands.
Horn says Xiao again, but this time completely missing everything. Lioneers recovered defensively. Mullins goes baseline, and he had the angle.
Yeah, great job by Byron Mullins there. He saw the double team was coming from the top. Oscar helping down, but he was able to turn and pivot and go baseline where no help was ready.
Now it's Bennett maneuvering in. He'll get the end one. So after a strong game last night, AB's back at it. He's already got 8 points to his personal tally. And a chance to tie the game with a free throw.
Yeah, just one of those energy players. Obviously really talented, can score the basketball inside and out, but you can just tell he exudes a lot of energy for his teammates and even for these fans in the building. They love to see him be successful. He has a lot of fun out there on the court playing.
40% three-point shooter. A lot of that in the game against the Braves. And his 22 points per game is good for 3rd in the plus league. Double comes again as Byron Mullins tries to spin through it. Oscar to White. Anthony Bennett fighting through it, and he's going to win out with another and one.
Yeah, if that first you don't succeed, try again. And Anthony Bennett, White there, both, you know, cleaning up some misses. And it's that energy that helps give them this lead back and just that hustle. Byron Mullins would have loved to get a foul call on the other side too. He took it strong to the basket, didn't get it. And you know the Lioneers don't waste any time in transition. They love to push the ball up the court quickly and try to score before the defense can set up.
And because it's Su Zhishuan's 3rd personal foul, the Kings are going to size down and bring in Ling Jingbang. The strong start continues for number 13. Byron Mullins, though, able to get the one-handed slam, so that's a little bit of an exclamation point there.
Definitely, he was trying to make a statement with that play.
Hall, the inbound passer, as Bennett tries from deep, rattles in and out.
Maybe a little bit too much sauce on that one. He's feeling pretty good with the step back and spin move there, but shows you even with the balance, he almost got that one to go down.
Gonna go to Manigault now on Oscar. Tries to pull the seat out from under him, and he finishes the score anyways. So that makes it 5 points for Manigault. As Joseph Lin getting the foul, driving to the basket.
That's where you definitely have Joseph Lin, great shooter and smart player offensively, but Oscar might be able to try to take advantage of some of his strength and speed there as well on the offensive end.
I hope everybody's ready for the rest of Saturday Night Basketball after these messages.
啊，田螺老师，深呼吸，晨晨深呼吸。 深呼吸，来一起深呼吸，跟着一色空气机，一起呢深呼吸，深呼吸，李佳龙深呼吸。
Leave a like on tonight's stream for the last English broadcast before the Lunar New Year's. Last season at the break, the Kings were number 2 at 7-5. The Lioneers at number 4 at just 7-6. Now only 1.5 games separated the 4 teams that would eventually make it to the playoffs, but I get a feeling that it's not going to be the same kind of narrative and storyline this season with the Kings and Pilots for now, with an early lead in the standings, but kind of have a mix in the middle, and the Dreamers have got to watch out. They only have 5 wins on the season, and the Steelers just got their 2nd.
Yeah, it is an opportunity for the Lioneers, though, to try to seize and stay in the top 3, and with a win here tonight, you know, you stay very close within striking distance to, you know, pushing for a 1 or 2 spot. So obviously, Steelers, Dreamers haven't had the start of the season that they would like. They'd love to have some more wins in that category. But it being a long season, you got to keep grinding it out and trying to get better each game.
Oscar Gall will step up to the free throw line in yesterday's contest. 10 points, but also 10 assists. That's a double-double you don't see very often from local players. One thing that can be said as well from the standing standpoint is the Lioneers are 0-6 against the Kings and Pilots, and a net point differential of -22. So that's not really going to do it. But other teams have also struggled against the top of the competition. Over to Manigault, trying to get some space. Rebound from the corner, bouncing out. Julian Hall will try the lefty layup. No. Pace of the game picking up after the break. It's Kenny Manigault with a little tap on the back of the head. He'll go to the line.
Yeah, good job by White initially to move his feet here and force a contested shot, but the swipe up above got Manigault's face, and good aggressive drive by him. That's what we've seen whenever he wants to get into the paint. So far tonight, Manigault has been able to put the ball on the floor and use his strength to make good things happen for his team's offense.
Already 2 for 3 from the free throw line. Got to keep an eye out on the free throw shooters. Last week, that was a problem for both teams. I believe we had a combined 25 missed free throws.
That's one of those things too. You know, the Dreamers have won a lot of close games like you mentioned, but they've been, you know, blown out of several others, and that's one way to try to improve, to keep those games closer, is just by improving at the free throw line.
The whistle from the far side as Bennett was showing off some fancy dribbling. Manigault's second personal. So if you come into the Lioneers building, on the corners of the stadium, they have the individual performers on the floor. So points, rebounds, assists, steals. But on the fifth column is personal fouls. And it seems like we got to keep an eye out on that as the game progresses. Bennett already with 13 points. And 14. Yesterday he had 9 to start the game, hitting 5 of 6 free throws. Lioneers with Iboka now pressuring Amigo. The blue pass picked up by Bennett. Go the other way, it's a lay-in. The other way, Byron Mullins taking out the extendo arms for that dunk, his second of the night.
Yeah, it was still in the first quarter, but plenty of action so far. These teams are off to the races and just flexing muscles on the offensive side.
But back at him was Iboka with the nice fadeaway there. Into the mid-range, Ling Jungbao, quick off back iron. Oscar with space, could not get that to fall.
Yeah, not a shot he'd normally miss. Plenty of bodies in the lane, but he got pretty close to making a nice scoop shot there. On the other end, Manigault also aggressive to the basket and will be at the free throw line again. Just shows you how quick these teams push that ball up the floor, as you see the big dunks from Mullins.
A nice 2-on-1. Could have even got something extra on that effort. A lot of breathing exercises early on here for Kenny Manigault. Sinks that first free throw. He's also leading the Kings in minutes played at 36 per game. And also leads them in steals at 2.8. But I don't think you could guess who would the league leader be.
I'm not sure, Ryan.
This free throw to Iboka. Well, he has 3.8 steals per game, and he's playing in this contest.
Ooh.
It might surprise people. Well, maybe not.
I know White's a good defender. I know Oscar's explosive and quick to get steals, but I'm not sure. The Lioneers have a lot of good individual defenders, but is it even on their team?
Yeah, it is on the Lioneers, and it's Anthony Bennett who leads the league in steals.
Impressive.
Byron Mullins, first try from outside, no good. And there's the athleticism of Iboka tracking down that board. Despite being a rookie, he's also getting in there for 5 rebounds per game. As Oscar slipped the hand, is going to be a turnover.
Yeah, he's frustrated with that one, but your team's up by 2, you just gotta stay focused. Mistakes are gonna happen. Just don't let them bait you into making another mistake after it. Looks like Oscar will get a break now. He does have 2 fouls, so we'll see how this second unit does in the backcourt for the Lioneers.
Perimeter and wing substitutions for both teams.
And this will be important for the Lioneers. They want to get over the hump and beat this Kings team, but they got to be able to do it with your starters, and your second group has to come in and be able to be stable for those minutes that they're on the court.
And immediately a pick and roll score for Byron Mullins. White trying to back down. And on the spin move, gets it off glass.
Yeah, it's great for this second unit of the Lioneers. You know, go to White. He's being extra aggressive now with some of the starters on the bench.
Another pick and roll and another score for Byron Mullins.
This is where Mullins could really feast, try to take advantage of Bennett on the bench. Not as strong as defender out there to switch onto him or help.
Evan Lee chose to drive, but that missed layup is a transition opportunity for the Kings. A travel call will be the first of the game. Of course, going after 2 rookies of the Lioneers is a great choice. And how much of that could be a call from the bench, and how much of that could be the players figuring out what they want to do on their own?
Yeah, I want to give credit to the players, also just executing well. But you definitely know when subs are going to come in, you as a team, you know where you want to attack and win. And so I think some of it is also the Kings trying to just play the matchup game and look for good opportunities to score.
Lee scoring, stay in the mid-range there after failing the first time. He did admit ceding the captaincy to Oscar definitely took a load off his shoulders. Ling Jibang's jumper, no. The other way, Guo Shaojie fakes one out and getting the bucket. Lioneers now with a 4-point lead.
Yeah, and the transition offense has been a big plus for this Lioneers team.
Not giving up on the play, it's Tarico White with a one-handed slam.
And so far, this second group for the Lioneers having no problem. They're turning defense into offense. White leading the way, aggressive on offense, and the fans in Hsinchu loving it.
Deep shot off the front of the rim. It's going to stay with the Kings. Kind of the familiar usage for Bennett. A break in the middle of the first quarter, and now he's back in. This is what we're talking about for the Kings. Venti Honsusan is their backup point guard without Kyle Lee Kai-in. The Lioneers continue to switch. There's a mismatch somewhere. Mullins going with speed and a foul call on the contest.
Yeah, great job by Byron Mullins. The ball was moving around, but he kept sealing and trying to get that inside position, wanted to catch that ball as close to the basket as he could here. And you see all he had to do was turn around, and he almost was able to get a dunk over the Lions defense.
That's right, we can call them kind of Lions tonight with their crossover event. Mullins right now going to sit at 10 points with a chance at the line. The Gongdusen and Volunteers before the game spent probably an hour and a half blowing up the stringy balloons that you see on the baseline behind us. Quincy Davis will check in for the first time. White going at Century Man. Got a step and a foul call. taking advantage of the second-year player out of NTSU. One time it was power, and another time it was speed.
I feel like White's been a big difference between the game tonight so far and last week. Last week didn't necessarily have a bad game, but didn't have a great game either. But so far here in the first quarter today, you know, there's been times where he's put the team on his shoulders offensively and making things happen and knocking down shots, getting some dunks in transition. So far, a lot of credit to him.
And a clean switch with that second free throw. The Lioneers are a better team at home than on the road, and their average score in the first quarter only 24. So they've already gotten a leg up on themselves, but the big thing for them, they want to build up double-digit leads to give themselves a cushion in the second half, and really applicable on a back-to-back. Jingbang going baseline. Finding our teammate Venti, who swishes the three.
Tough shot, great relocation by him to make himself available for that, and a big finish there for the Kings. Nice lift.
So that's the end of the first quarter. The Lioneers leading the game 34-30. We have a short break before the start of the second quarter.
분위기가 겁나 싸해 요새 이런 게 유행인가 왜들 그리 재미없어 아 그건 나도 마찬가지 Tell me what I got to do 급한 대로 블루투스 켜 아무 노래나 일단 틀어 아무거나 신나는 걸로 아무렇게나 춤춰 아무렇지 않아 보이게 아무 생각하기 싫어 아무개로 살래 잠시 I'm sick and tired of my
最热情的掌声，谢谢呢我们所有的吉祥物。那莱恩送点赠品吧，好不好？先给莱恩，先请呢莱恩来一段舞蹈表演。
香水搭配也更美，让我从梦下入心动的氛围，冲浪的腿是那有味，此刻的我只想亲吻你的嘴。
If you happen to be watching our English broadcast and in the stadium, after the game there will be an autograph session with the Uni girls and Muse girls. If you wear Lioneers or Uni President 7-Eleven Lions gear. So a benefit for coming into the building. Some teams, I won't say which, there are jokes that there are a quote-unquote cheerleader team with a sports team attached to them. The Kings are out of their timeout, or between quarter break first. It's going to be the same group: Venti, Ling Jingbang, Steve Tunjunan, JJ, and Quincy Davis. For the Lioneers, Guo Shaojie, Tarika White, Evan, Bennett, and Oscar.
High scoring start for both teams, but especially for the Lioneers, who only average, 89.98 points per game. So we'll see if they can continue to keep the foot on the gas pedal like we see there and continue to shoot the ball at a high percentage.
Lee Jia-Rui with the first possession layup as they get a corner possession for the Kings. Low on time. Quincy Davis will finally spin around for the right-handed finish.
And Quincy Davis is always efficient. He knows where to be, and you know, he takes the shots that he's comfortable taking. So that's one of the reasons why one of the highest two-point field goal percentage players in the league, just because he gets the ball where he's successful.
White choosing to go on the backboard. There's a foul for the loose ball. I think it's going to be on One thing that the Lioneers made an adjustment right after the last Kings game, which you and I happened to call together, with their guard Tim Hall sustaining a calf injury. The next night against the Braves, they started to switch a lot and try to go with a swarming defense. And that's carried over to their game against the Dreamers and this game against the Kings. And it's having a pretty decent effect.
Yeah, they got a lot of quickness on their roster and maybe not a whole lot of size, as we see Quincy Davis again able to take ownership of the paint. But you know, that might just be something for the Lioneers, switching all those plays on defense to just, you know, bother other teams.
Transition opportunity, but the Lioneers spoil that one. Kind of careless on the break there, but another replay as the easy cross screen. And it seems like Guo Shaojie, that kind of happens to him quite often, where he doesn't get his head turned around or communicate that screen coming. Venti and Q, the old Chinese Taipei duo. A nice sky-high rebound for Evan. Bennett will try from the top. Yes!
Got to stay connected. Third three-point shot of the game going in for Bennett. He remains hot from beyond the arc.
Isn't it funny that he and Xiao Swinyi are the only Lioneers to take threes as Oscar picks the pocket and a chance to run. And a foul in transition as Bennett kind of gives the baseline crowd a little scare there, hopping right in front of him to stop his momentum. Another look, nobody guarding him, and it's too easy. He's already got 17 points in the first half.
And even if Vente was able to get there a little bit quicker, you just have such a height difference that how much is he actually going to be able to bother him?
And a reverse slam with a nice feed. Quincy Davis tries to answer. Two bounces, and Tariq White will almost give it up. Transition opportunity is Chewing Hall with the basket on the other side, and a timeout by the Kings. Well, they might be playing on a back-to-back, but right now their hustle is making a huge difference on their defensive end, and they're also beating the Kings the other way. We have another break the rest of the first half after this. Quite a ruckus crowd here on a Saturday night, Lioneers and Lions crossover event for the 3rd time in 3 seasons. As we see the nice feed by Evan and Bennett. Great awareness of space and the rim, all important target. The Lioneers did have 25 assists in yesterday's game against the Dreamers.
Yeah, they don't have a guy that dribbles too much. I mean, Oscar is great off the dribble, but you know, you even mentioned how he had 10 assists last game. So him as the captain, it does start with him and spreading the ball around. And they do work together as a team, and they've built chemistry. And right now, it's really paying off with just how they're getting good, high-quality shots.
Looks like we might have a score table issue. The referees are going to check that out. The Lioneers are far away from their 2nd game of the season, a loss to the Kings, where, of course, they infamously committed 33 turnovers. Only 3 so far tonight. Let's hope that remains the case. Typically, when teams have a stretch at home, it could go either way. At least what we've been told in American pro sports, if you have a long homestand, guys might get too comfortable, or they might have to take care of a lot of responsibilities, and so they can get lackadaisical on a homestand. But here in the Plus League, when you got a lot of back-to-backs, that can also pose a challenge. Ball off the knee of Evan. Venti again, pick and roll. It's picked and popped. So he will try again, and he's still 0 from outside.
Now this Kings team, without their 2 imports in there, really struggling to just find some identity on the offensive side.
They blitz, but the foul on the pass. And Tendrinan's definitely having a rough night, being assigned to Tariko White.
Byron Mullins will return, but his team in a bigger hole than when he left to sit on the bench. But still a lot of basketball left, still here in the first half, still almost 9 minutes in the first half. So we know what the Kings are capable of doing. They put up almost 100 points per game, so we know they can score the basketball when they have to.
Bennett short with it. Venti brushes it out of bounds, trying to keep it away from the Lioneer. So in about 3.5 minutes, the Lioneers are +8. Start the 2nd quarter. Julian trying to make a tough move, an even tougher shot. It's off the mark. Manico with a block shot at the hoop. We call it on Evan.
Yeah, Evan seemed to be disappointed at first, but then he did have a little bit of a smile there as Manigault checks back into the game, and right away he gets himself back to the free throw line.
Well, it certainly wasn't a clean block because the basketball ended up on the hoop.
Might have been a play where Evans may not have needed to swipe. He did do a good job of, forcing Manigault to have a tough angle on that layup attempt. But when you start to swing down at the ball, it makes it a little bit easier for the referee to make that foul call.
He sinks his first free throw. The import duo for the Kings combined for 20 points out of 35. One thing we haven't said much in this season series is Amigo. We'll see when Coach Marchand and the staff decide to bring him off from his rest. Julian slips on the floor, but thankfully Iboka's ready to bail him out and banks in the 3. Trying to wipe his hands off his jerseys, but any 3 is a valuable 3 for the Lioneers as Quincy Davis Will dunk you very much.
Yeah, that's one reason why he shoots a high percentage. He catches it that low, turns around with that type of force, attacking the rim. You're going to make most of those dunk opportunities.
Iboka, shot fake, then pulls up. He's heating up.
Yeah, what a boost he has been off the bench. Defensively, he's been making things happen. Good defender, rebounder, and now he's adding that offensive weapon to it.
Mullins from the high post will spin around. 2 bounces now, but he'll go to the line as well.
Yeah, initially good job there by the Lioneers to force Mullins to, turn around and almost shoot a little bit of a fadeaway jumper. But when you get your hands and you foul him, you sort of bail him out there as he gets to go to the free throw line.
Byron on the line. The MVP of the month of November. It was announced during the week that Justin Lu Junxiang was the winner of the month of December. So talk about good timing. They'll have the Porsche month MVP trophy presentation tomorrow in Taoyuan. A 2-for-2 trip. The difference is 12. Touring Hall. And another illegal screen by the Lioneers. This time it was Iboka with a little bit extra.
Yeah, but at the same time, Iboka's still coming to get set. You have to wait a little bit longer before you attack off the screen. He's starting to leave before the screen. Iboka has a chance to get set. So that's, just building just that chemistry and timing of that pick and roll play and how you want it to be effective.
Sure, I would argue it's also discipline. The play design is for the defender to be surprised by that screen. While we have an offensive foul as the shot was going up. So the referees might want to talk it over. But a foul should be change of possession.
Yeah, White letting Davis know he didn't appreciate that very much, but Davis also defending himself on the play. We'll see what the refs are able to bring out of it.
Well, the referees did think that it warrants a look at the monitor. And so in yesterday's game, there were what we call 2 specialty fouls. Both by the Lioneers. Right now, it's just going to be a common foul on Quincy Davis. Only his first of the game. Let's see the kind of the hand fighting going on.
Yeah, not intentional there, just setting a screen, and the movement caused it to happen. So never fun to get hit in the face, but it definitely wasn't intentional there from Davis. He was just playing the game the right way, being physical and trying to fight for position.
Another turnover for the Kings on the second quarter. Those have so far proven costly. Through pass as Iboka couldn't get high enough, and a chance for the Kings in transition. Venti Q intercepts the pass, funny enough. And they're going to call it traveling. So this time Iboka might have missed his opportunity on one end, but comes back and creates a turnover on the other end.
That's what you need from a young player, playing in his first professional year. You want him to bring that energy on both sides. It's okay to miss the dunk. At least he sprinted back and he was ready to play defense. That's what his team needs him to do.
So they're on screen, 7 turnovers by the Kings, 4 by the Lioneers. And of course, 2 of those illegal screens. So no live ball possessions on those 2 opportunities. Xiaolia and Bennett kind of twist into a pretzel, and the pass batted around. It's Manigault again with the steal, but they foul in transition. Kind of stopping the break there.
Yeah, smart foul. The Kings did have the advantage in the fast break, so smart foul. Lioneers trying to get reset up here. Their defense has remained strong, but their offense slowing down a little bit here in the middle of the second quarter. On the other side, Joseph Lin back in the game. We'll see if the Kings can try to get him open from three-point land.
Immediately they go to him in a two-man game with Mullins. Tip in by number 5. So far the quarter, 17 to the Lioneers, 11 by the Kings. A disciplined screen by Iboka as Bennett will pull up from 3. No, chase his own board. Got Mullins in the air and scores on the hook shot.
Yeah, great job to get Byron Mullins up in the air. Take advantage of your speed or quickness down there was Bennett. But on the other side, the Kings are really making the Lioneers work on their post defense because they are sealing early and often, and Quincy Davis really making his presence felt with a couple inside plays and now getting back to the free throw line.
Quincy Davis at the line, makes the first.
Davis is 63.6% from two-point field goal percentage-wise, and that is pretty amazing for his average of 8.8 points per game. He may not play a whole lot of minutes, but when he's in there, he definitely helps his team be successful.
He's actually at full attendance on the season, 15 games, as Oscar avoids the turnover. Bennett will bounce it off his foot, so it's Tariqa White's turn. And a foul on the shot by Manigault. Did a pretty decent job with the contest, but did not stay clear of the shooter. Get another look, it's hand on the elbow. And the referee was right on top of it.
Yeah, Manigault not happy about that call, or probably happy with himself to bail out White on that play because the shot clock was winding down. There was hardly any time left at all.
Tariqa White coming into tonight's game, a 70% free throw shooter. And I'm sure that's a mark that he would want to improve as import guard here in the Plus League as Amigo checks back in.
Yeah, and if I'm reading it right, the Lioneers are so far 10 for 10 from the free throw line, so that's a big reason they're able to have this 13-point lead right now, is the success and higher percentage from the line that they're shooting so far.
White, this time on his own, drains the 3. And the lead now up to 16.
Yeah, we don't see White pull the trigger that early in the shot clock very often.
And a little bit of a crash down low, and it's Quincy Davis again, the recipient. Plenty of talking still going on as Quincy Davis just lost his balance there. Indeed, the Lioneers' only missed free throw was by White. The first of 3, but it's Q bouncing out his.
Well, that's right.
So on the positive note, pacing-wise, the Kings have a chance to get past 50 points on the half, but defensively are allowing almost up to 60 points by the Lioneers. White feeling it, but too strong with that shot. Good hustle by Iboka. Bennett can't get the finish, and Tariqa White needed about 20 more inches to really bring the house down on that putback. Quincy Davis, look what I found. He's gonna get a delay of game warning here.
Just a veteran guy trying to make sure he can do all he can, make sure his team gets back and set up on defense. So now that he's gotten the warning, he probably won't do that again.
Of course, the comedian and jolly guy that Bennett is, he's also put a smile on Marchand's face as Xiao Sung-yi will check in the game for the Lioneers. And it will be handoff, then the pass through the hands. Joseph Lin to Manigault. Ooh, with a one-handed hammer that goes all the way to half court. And it's a timeout by Coach Greg of the Lioneers as they want to finish off this first half a little bit better than that.
Yeah, the defense with Davis and Bennett in there has made things a little bit more difficult the last few minutes for the Lioneers, who are struggling to get effective, high percentage shots.
Kenny Manigault previously took over 3 of the top 10 plays of the week. And that one has got a great argument for it. Like we said, one of the big changes for the Kings is not having Kyle Lee Kaien in there. He only had 8 points on 2 of 6 shootings. 25 minutes off the bench last week, but in the 3rd season, he has seen kind of his role reduced a little bit. Probably a little bit of the fallout from the wrist injury, and certainly Joseph Lin in there gives Coach Marchand a lot of different options. I think for them, fortunately, they also get to bring back Venti, who at least is a guard who really knows how to organize the guys in games and also in practices. So it's nice to have that veteran leadership. Now for the Lioneers, it's kind of hard to tell, but I think the cohesion and togetherness for them is also starting to build up. Especially, I think it started with number 8, Zhong Hao, joining the fray again and kind of getting everyone settled into their rotational minutes.
Yeah, they definitely seem to have a good understanding of, you know, their defensive assignments and how they've switched and given different looks to the Kings tonight. But even offensively, there's been a good balance of scoring and guys knowing when they need to attack and be aggressive and who to set up when. So definitely 2 teams that, you know, will continue to get better as the season progresses here.
Oscar to Bennett at the high post. Reverse it. White with a push shot. It's in.
Yeah, White really continuing to step up his offensive game here. That time, Mullins didn't quite fully commit to the help, and White took his time. Nice floater off the glass.
Joseph Lin will pull up from deep, bouncing right to Amigo. A little Twin Towers action continues for the Kings. Hugh setting the screen. Joseph Lin looking for a pass right in the hands of Bennett, and well, that'll help to make you the leading steal getter in the league. White from the left side, short. Takes his own rebound. Quite a scramble, and eventually a turnover by the Lioneers, thinking a little too much. Here's the oop that missed as Quincy Davis clean up on aisle 6.
Yeah, Quincy Davis continuing to just find that ball right underneath the hoop. And good job him hustling down. Kings didn't get the alley-oop to go, but Davis able to clean up the mess.
White going on Amigo, no help defense there. And really curious considering they have Mullins and Quincy Davis in the lineup for the Kings.
Yeah, the help side defense was nowhere to be found. And White not being fancy, but just fundamental basketball. Nice rip there, drive to the basket, strong, and finishes at the rim.
He's got 70 points as Kenny Manigault rolls in his 3. Kings on the game. Only 2 for 10 shooting from deep. Bennett, quick fire 3. Starting to feel like the fatigue is kind of setting into his legs shooting wise.
Yeah, most definitely. He's gonna have to just get a little bit more legs in it or release it sooner to try to make up for how much legs he has left, especially in the second half of this game.
Xiao Sung-yi with his 2nd personal foul, trying to block out Mullins there. Tough assignment. going to bring in Xiaohei, or Joker, number 7 for the Lioneers. Kind of a coach's technique. He's got a few delayed substitutions. Maybe get an extra breath or two for his players, as Mullins will step up to the line again. 3 for 4. Now 3 for 5. 15 points on it. His evening. He's got 8 rebounds already. Splits the trip. Mullins is 5th in the league at 21.3 points per game.
Yeah, so far we've seen him be successful in transition with a couple monster dunks, but he has not had, you know, just straight up post-ups where he's been able to dominate like he normally can.
Bennett blocked the first time, getting the reverse on the other side, as we have a lot of extracurriculars happening after that one.
And that's where a veteran player like Davis, he knows how to chip away at some of these guys. He can get in people's heads. You do that delay a game stuff, you know, and Bennett wanted to really make sure after he put this second shot in, you know, you see him sort of yell in Davis's face right here. And that's just going to be something that's easily seen by the officials.
It will indeed be a technical foul. And they're going to send Byron Mullins to the line. But he misses.
Yeah, surprising choice for the free throw, and he's missed a few already here today. Sometimes, though, a star player like that is struggling, and you want to give him another opportunity to continue to see the ball go through the hoop and gain some confidence.
Oscar recovers and pokes it out of bounds. Mullins at the high post. Amigo free. Anigo turns and fires. No good. The White trying to surprise them. He lays it in.
Come on, come on.
Great forward pass by Oscar, and even though the Kings are halfway down the court already, they want to talk things over as this lead is pushing back up in the favor of the Lioneers.
It's 14 points and 66 points for the Lioneers in the first half. Is approaching the 67 high mark that, if I look it up, was set in the first half of game number 31, which the Dreamers were able to do to the Steelers.
Joe, amigo. So listen, you're gonna run right into this. It's gonna be like a 77
so like
away.
Marchand said during the pregame interview, they don't have anything that exotic for what their plans are for the season, and I don't imagine he has anything that exotic planned for this timeout or the second half. The Kings finding themselves in a big hole already.
3 options.
Yeah, even if he did have a trick up his sleeve, he might not want to share that with everyone, but you know, the Kings just got to step up their defense a little bit, you know, try to force some tougher shots. They've had a lot of success in transition, so get out, run the ball quick. And if there's somebody that can really help make a difference for the Kings, I feel like it's Amigo, who's just continuing to not find his offensive groove here against this Lioneers team.
The biggest lead that the Kings overcame in this season was 22 points at Hooping Gymnasium against the Braves. They've never fallen behind by more than 5 points to the Lioneers so far on the season. on the quarter. White has got 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. That's definitely a strong effort in the quarter, but of course, got a whole half of basketball after this, presumably at least 2-for-1 sequence coming up. Xiao Sui delaying Joe bringing the ball up the floor.
The shot clock might not have started on time, so looks like they'll get that situated.
A little bit of an oddity considering the shot clock often goes with the game clock. Definitely changes the dynamic of the play that Marchand would like to run. Time and space, 2 big factors. So 36 was the start of the possession. If you would like to be a scorekeeper at home, we're looking at about 7 seconds coming off the clock. They do take 7 seconds off the shot clock as Amigo will inbound to Joe Lin. Got the much taller Xiao Sui guarding him once again. Double screen, pin down, nothing yet. Reverse the pin down to JJ from the free throw line. It's short. He put some pressure on it, and Mullins can't hang on to it.
Yeah, great rebound there by Boga in traffic. Go elevate high above even Mullins to secure that rebound. And Lioneers will probably get the last chance here to improve their lead before we go to halftime.
That was a nice sequence by the Lioneers. Given that the Kings wanted to make a lot of adjustments, set up a real nice play, they brought in all their lengthy wings, and so that put a lot of pressure on Joe going up against a guy who's much taller and lankier than him. But now it's the Lioneers who also have the benefit of running out the clock, even if they inbound from the front court out of this timeout. So you got a feeling like yesterday they did really good, or I guess good enough executing their game plan with Bennett and Artino having size and height advantage on the smaller Dreamers team. They were able to execute and hung on for the win at the end. So far in this game, it feels like they're doing a good job of the game plan as well.
Yeah, I would agree. I think you got to give them a lot of credit on defense. You know, they haven't let one player really go off. You know, Joseph Lin started out, and we were thinking maybe he'd have another 6-for-6 night, but they've slowed him down. They've done a great job running Amigo off the lane and really starting the Kings defense away from the basket. So I'd say the only one who's probably really happy with the offensive night for the Kings is Quincy Davis. You know, he's been efficient where he's caught it down low, but no one else has really gotten in a groove for the Kings so far here in the first half.
We'll break down the halftime statistics at halftime. So let's focus in on 14 seconds as they need to get Saba Boy off the court there in the corner. The Milkfish, mascot of the city of Tainan, where the Lions play their home games. It's White, guarded by Manigault. Cross the screen for Joe. Ball screen for Bennett, slips his hand, and he flings it up. Gave it a decent chance, but not a great execution of the final play there.
No, they sort of lost some time, but at least they didn't give the ball back to the Kings, so they're happy with that.
It's going to be a 14-point Lioneers lead into halftime here. Both of these teams' last game before the Lunar New Year break. We'll be going to break.
等一下呢，第一项呢要进行的是我们视力的测验，因为呢在吉祥物当中，其实他们要看到外面不是很容易的一件事情，尤其呢我们跟新竹接口工程师跟大学眼科有合作，所以呢趁机一下。 好，那我们首先呢要进行的第一项竞赛是视力测验。视力测验，我们欢迎呢第一位参赛选手瑞迪。哎，在那边，你站在那边，在跳床旁边，对。然后脖子，对对对，看你能不能够看得见。来，第一个，好，恭喜答对。 再来难一点好了，大概是第二个。哇，这么厉害！来，第三个越来越难哦。这么小你看得见吗？这么厉害！再来，第四个。 接下来呢，最小的哦，如果可以看得见，代表你视力有1.0。恭喜瑞迪5个通通都答对了，欢迎莱恩。好，莱恩，你要背对我来猜。好，第一个。 哎，你们棒球队都用打暗号的哦。好，第二个。第三个。好，打错，是左边。
I'm willing to say this might be the first time in Taiwan sports history where mascots have to do an eye test in the middle of a competition. You know, it's quite a good commission to be a mascot in any country. Well, showing their faces off to the camera is Kyle Zoltongkai and Wang Boling on the Mandarin broadcast. I'm Ryan Chen, joined by Kirk Long here on the English side. Thank you for tuning in to this matchup between the Lioneers and Kings. And the Lioneers are really bucking trends, playing really tough again on a back-to-back, and are trying to get their first win on the season against the #1 Kings. Well, there's the combined team statistics where, as we said going into the break, the Lioneers lead by 14. They're shooting the ball with a little bit more accuracy, but I think one big key thing that's not on the monitor is their free throw shooting. The Lioneers only missed 1 free throw, and the Kings, despite being sent to the line a lot more times, have missed 10 of their own.
Yeah, that's a big turnaround in terms of what's made this point different. And then we also have plenty of Lioneers players who have had success beyond the three-point land, so that's unusual. They don't shoot as good a percentage on the season as the Kings do, but so far tonight, they've been able to knock down those outside shots as well.
One thing that is worth taking a look at is, of course, the Lioneers on a back-to-back playing 7 p.m. to 5 p.m. tonight. Their bench only averages about 20 points per game. Last night, they only had 12 in the victory. And so far through this game, Evans got 4, Bosalji's got 2, Ivoka's got 7. So they're slightly outpacing that mark. We'll see if that carries through in the second half. As you know, they'll need to rotate more of those guys in, and especially the fourth quarter, because Tarika White and Bennett are carrying the scoring load for the team in white.
Yeah, you're right there, Ryan. And, you know, that fourth quarter will be crucial. We see the impact that Davis has had for the Kings off the bench. And that fourth quarter could be, you know, a deciding factor with how he comes in and gives the Kings a spark and what the Lioneers are able to do or not do in terms of bench points.
And if it's not Quincy Davis, maybe they need to consider getting Byron Mullins a lot of inside touches. I know he's definitely made a note about how physical opponents will play him down low, but that's this part of the court where the Lioneers defense will suck in a lot more, maybe create open opportunities for his teammates.
Yeah, definitely right.
He leads the team with 16 points so far in the game. Manny Galt with 14, and Quincy Davis with 11. But James Sushishin, haven't seen him very much after his third personal foul. He's got 4. Over on the Lioneers side, Anthony Bennett, again, very strong first half. Let's see how he fares the rest of the way. White behind him with 19 points. Iboka off the bench with 7. And Evan Lee Jiarei with 4 off the bench as well. We'll be going to another break and a courtside report in the next segment.
其实吉祥物的能够看的视野的范围没有很广哦。好，恭喜这个回合 Lion 获胜。好，接着呢就要考一下呢智力跟体力了。来，我们要进行呢是我们篮球9宫格的游戏。他们跳到哪里，就代表呢9宫格要放在哪个地方。好，谁先？那我们 Ryan 先攻。好，他跳到是这里，接下来换瑞迪。好，角落，这个，好，接下来换 Lion。好，来，接下来呢换瑞迪，看瑞迪的脑袋如何喽。恭喜，好，挡住了。好，这边，哦，这也很难哦。瑞迪能不能跳这么远呢？好，恭喜，很卖力耶。好，接着 Lion。好 ，Lion。好，很简单，来。好，那这一关呢不分上下平手，恭喜！那么马上呢进入了今天的压轴了，是我们舞蹈大赛。那么欢迎到呢我们3位评审。
Hello， 大家好，我是嘉怡。刚才看完了瑞迪跟莱恩的精彩 PK 之后呢，在嘉怡旁边的是我们的慕斯女孩的曼柔，跟大家先来打声招呼吧。
Hello， 大家好，我是 Muse Girl 的队长曼柔。
哇，大家有没有看到今天曼柔一身哦，看起来很崭新的球衣，是不是有新的什么活动要来介绍给大家呢？
是我们下一次主题日就是2月5号跟7号初恋紫色系的主题球衣，然后偷偷跟大家说一个秘密，我们那2天会开放我们大荧幕的告白版位，让大家尽情告白。
哇，这看起来好像电影还是偶像剧里面才会出现，也就是呢，如果你有想要告白的，会有那种什么对象的话，欢迎使用我们的大荧幕啦。那另外呢，其实呢，平常就看男生打篮球，是不是我们也有专属的一些活动？
有，我们下一次还会有充满恋爱氛围的音乐演唱会，然后我们还会有专属于女生的球具哦，欢迎大家来报名。
好，2月5号跟7号，欢迎大家来参加专属于女生的球具。那男士们也欢迎在场边观赛，画面非常的赏心悦目哦。那休息一下，我们继续回到精彩的比赛。
瑞迪。好，这边的2比1，恭喜这场比赛舞蹈比赛，恭喜瑞迪获胜。好，那我们这边的请 Lion， 来 Lion， 不要走 ，Lion， 这个是选你的，你跟他一队，那你跟瑞迪一队，那你跟 Uncle 一队。好，那我们就请了我们场上的小朋友跟吉祥物一块来一段舞蹈，好不好？来，音乐随便来一个。谦哥的评审，他说竹北辣姐是我们的冠军，恭喜！那么这边呢，也请我们南港文泰Wilson来帮我们颁奖。好，来一起合照一下。自备麦克风的竹北谦哥，恭喜竹北辣姐！好，谢谢。
One game tomorrow. It's the Formosa Taishin Dreamers against the Taoyuan Puyuan Pilots in Taoyuan for the last game of the Plus League before the Lunar New Year break. The first half highlights before we begin action again belongs to Anthony Bennett, number 13 for the Lioneers. Still not quite at the average numbers he had last season of 25 points, 14 rebounds per game, but he's really working his way up. He had that knee injury right before the Lioneers training camp, so he's kind of had to work himself back into shape. And one thing that's been proving true, he definitely has a great feel for the game, no matter what his physical condition is.
Yeah, they haven't had him playing too many back-to-backs, but so far he's done very well this weekend on this back-to-back and had a great first half, came out shooting lights out, and has just been a steady force for this Lioneers team that, you know, is not one of the top offensive teams in the league. So they've really needed him to be aggressive on that end of the court, and he's been able to provide that spark for him a lot of times.
Yesterday was a really good get into the flow game as he was plus 12 in 41 minutes against the Dreamers. And so for the Kings side, Venti will have some additional instructions for the group on the court after Coach Marchand dismissed them, if we're going to borrow some academic terms. There's Kyle missing out on his first game of the season. It's going to be the starters for the Kings, and it's going to be the starting group for the Lioneers. And James Mall and Joe Ye have a quick visit near the Kings bench. The Kings' biggest number of points given up in a half was 65 to the Steelers previously, a game they lost in Kaohsiung. Little no-look catch there by Bennett in transition.
Yeah, a little bit interesting for Oscar to be passing it to him in the backcourt, with Oscar normally, you know, in that point guard duty assignment.
Off target was White. Manigault picks up the dribble. Joseph Lin picks up the dribble. And then an offensive foul. Excuse me, it was a drop ball on the catch. They don't have a ton of turnovers, but when you're the road team, every single one of them seems that much more costly. Again, Xiao Sun-yi switched onto him to a good effect.
Yeah, I love the energy he brings on the defensive end. His offense can be up and down. He hit one of those shots in the corner in the first half. But when you play good defense like that, you can force turnovers, then you're helping your team out a lot.
Wyden Bennett, the two-man game. Slips, kept the hand on it, and a travel call. Got a little too happy with the hop there.
Yeah, even with the travel, Byron Mullins ready there in the lane. That's where, when Byron Mullins was out in the first half, that's when the Lioneers really took advantage of getting the ball into the paint. But when he's been in there, he's been a force, and the Lioneers have a harder time attacking the basket.
Joseph Lin going to his right hand there. Kind of giving Oscar a little bit of one of his favorite moves, the little bit of a friendly shoulder on the dribble drive. Zuri Hall with an even tougher step back. It's Manigault going to the basket as Byron Mullins kind of doubled over there.
Yeah, Manigault chose not to use the screen. I don't know if Mullins still had a bump from setting that pick though.
Ricochet of the rebound to Oscar. He's got 3 rebounds on the game. White on Big Sushi. His step back is good.
Great individual move by White, and Lioneers, who do not get as many rebounds as the Kings do, you know, they've been able to score on some of those second chance point opportunities. So great job by them to keep that possession alive and make the most of it.
There's a foul call away from the basket as we have a little bit of extra stuff going on. Foul on Xiao Sun-yi, off ball. Canceling technical foul, Xiao Sun-yi on Byron Mullins, the 2 players.
They're still talking, and if those 2 players both picked up a second technical, that would definitely go in the favor of the Lioneers to see Byron Mullins out of the rest of this game. So he has to be careful here.
Just like that, Quincy Davis is back in.
And even though Quincy Davis was great on offense, he's not quite the same shot blocker that Byron Mullins is.
It's Amigo going to the basket. He'll have free throws coming up. See Zuri Hall, left hand on the back.
And that's what Amigo really needs to do. You know, he's a great scorer. He's not having a great night. And so he puts the ball on the floor and gets to the basket, gets to the free throw line.
I guess if our amateur lip readers want to have a crack at it, that was your opportunity on behalf of our broadcast partners at Momo TV. Amigo only with 2 points coming from the free throw line in the first half.
And the first play of the second half for the Kings was a draw design play to get him a mid-range jumper or get him the ball. And he missed that one, so he's had some opportunities tonight, just hasn't been able to get it to fall from the field yet.
Bennett in the middle there. Manigault turns around and picks his pocket. Cute jump pass, received and softly laid in. Amigo with the assist. He's still leading the Kings locals 14 points per game, but the MVP kind of presence is kind of held in reserve, shall we say, for now by Amigo. Doing how go to the cup and tricky layup made.
Yeah, what a take. Normally on the right side, you'd expect him to go up to the right, but he's able to scoop it in with the left hand.
A nice give and go, Joe Lin.
And that's where you gotta buckle down. If you're the Lioneers, you can't score on one end and then not get back and get your defense set up. They want to get a win here against the Kings today, who they've lost to against twice already this season. They gotta do better at transition defense.
Decent contest, but Xiao Suyi with his strong left hand scoops it up and in. Amigo on the down screen, now going at White, gets the flip layup.
That's what he's capable of, strong body, and knows how to put the ball on the floor. Amigo that time using that strength to get that shot up.
Back to White, shaking and baking, the shot too strong. Joseph Lin with a quick pull-up three in transition as Q we call for the push on the rebound. That's going to be the third team foul on the Kings. Let's get another look. White was in position, and while he was in the air, Quincy Davis a little late to the party. Bring it down to White, but Kings reach in and get a steal. 3-on-2, James with the right-handed lay-in, and that cuts the deficit to 8 points.
Yeah, you can't be very happy if you're the Lioneers right now. You're allowing the Kings to get back in this game by making poor choices on offense, turning the ball over, and then giving up wide open layups on the other side.
好，接下来呢，我们要进行呢，我们是一个头打 cam， 来，现场的朋友，田螺，不要做打击的动作，另外呢，我要做出投球的动作，来投出，打击，突破。来下一组，来准备投球喽。投球，来，美女挥棒。害羞什么啦？来，换你们喽 ！pass 投球，来挥棒，好，短打，恭喜！
After the Lunar New Year break, the Dreamers host the Lioneers and Kings, and the Braves host the Pilots and Steelers on Saturday and Sunday of the Lunar New Year break. Now you can't see, but Nangang Tires with the kind of split screen situation here where we have a fun pitching and batting interaction with the fans in the building. Don't forget, the World Baseball Classic Pool A's competition will take place down in Taichung. So Coach Greg, seeing the Lioneers lead shrinking in the start of the third quarter, and a lot of it had to do with Amigo, whether he's scoring the basketball or finding the open teammate.
Yeah, we'll see what the Lioneers can draw up here after the timeout. This is the time You know, you want to execute well. Coach has a design. What kind of mismatch can you get, especially with Byron Mullins out of the game?
They're looking Bennett's way, but Quincy Davis covers that option up. So Xiao Sung-yi right to the hands of Manigault and cover the corner shooter.
Yeah, that time you get into the paint, take it strong to the basket.
It's Amigo with the 3 from the corner. And just like that, it is a 3-point game.
Yeah, frustrating because in the first half, the Lioneers kept the ball so safe. You know, they didn't have a lot of turnovers. But here to start the third quarter, they are just having trouble getting quality shots. But that one, great individual effort, able to go down.
Hall with a miracle layup. And the ricochet, they say, off of the Kings. It's Sushi who's, I don't know if it's kind of between a tender loving care moment by Amigo, but maybe he's got some pleading from his captain to not cause him to have another turnover on his night. Amigo typically will shoot his 3s from top of the floor, but the way the Kings have a lot of options now, he can have those chances from the short corners. Oscar attacking off the screen. Into the middle, and another batted pass. Manigault back to Joe Lin on the left side.
Yeah, I feel like there's a couple possessions now where these Lioneer guards are able to get it into the paint. Just float it up there already. You've done a lot of hard work. You don't have to make that extra pass if it's going to lead to a turnover. Your team needs you to shoot the ball.
Amigo almost jumped on that one, but it's Hall taking the challenge, but missing that layup. Leaking out ahead, Amigo, and Oscar stopped the break, but had to commit a foul.
Yeah, at least Oscar was able to foul early enough to not let Amigo get 2 free throws on the play, as the Kings will have to take it out on the baseline. But just another missed opportunity trip for the Lioneers on offense.
On the quarter, the Lioneers already with 5 turnovers, and that last one a rebound, but even better effect going down the floor. Lee Jingbang's checking into the game at number 19. Amigo pops free for 3, lays it well short. And White trying to get it back, but once again, Kenny Manigault with the incredible defense. From the left side this time, yes! And that's the tie game at 74 apiece.
Yeah, it's just been a tough stretch offensively. You know, these legs going off the back-to-back might be catching up to the Lioneers.
They jump the pass, and can Hall make him pay? He got it.
There you go, that's a spark, that's a start. But the Lioneers need to turn some defense into offense. That's one thing that worked well for them in the first half, is can they pull some of these stops together, get some steals, and try to work on their transition offense as well.
A little bit of heat right now on the floor, but it looks like the Kings and the rest more so. Going to be a pushing on Amigo. Though at least initially he was hot, but I guess nice composure on Hall. He got the bump from Quincy Davis and didn't have a reaction to it. Eventually, the technical is issued by the crew chief. And I don't really know if this is the time you really want to prove a point.
Yeah, not when you've made a run. You're down by double digits in the first half. You've tied the game just here in the last couple of minutes. You know, you want to keep your composure, but White unable to answer at the free throw line.
Kind of funny how the Lioneers were issued a tech, and the Kings missed theirs, and now they return the favor right back. The interesting thing about that last play is it's kind of a lot of hand fighting both ways for both players. So
yeah, oftentimes the referee will see that second commotion. You know, they might not see the original one, but the effects of the guy who retaliates.
Bennett finding Zhuhao again, and they're going to call an illegal screen. Kind of unfortunate there with the timing of the handoff.
And Bennett trying to show Amigo some love. You know, some of that was Amigo was really coming strong off the screen here, and Bennett, he was a little bit set, but he's just a big, strong man to run into. So of course you're going to fall down after running into him.
4 personal fouls for Bennett. Keep an eye on that. Right now, none of the Lioneers on the floor with more than 3. Joseph Lin, this time with the right hand.
Yeah, just too easy for an experienced guard like Lin, who has a great three-point shot, but also has a great soft touch on his floater.
Cross screen for Bennett. He's got Ling Jinbang behind him. He guesses the right side, but can't get possession. The Kings might want to consider a challenge, or they might want to hang on to it. This third quarter has gone by relatively fast. Two seconds on the clock. White will try from 3. He cans it.
The three-point shooting from the Lioneers continues to be one of the things that helps give them the lead here today.
Joseph Lin chasing his own miss. It's Quincy Davis who's got the board. And they say a foul was the reason why it would cause the travel. Tough thing to take for the Lioneers. It's going to lead to free throws.
Yeah, but, you know, if you're the Lioneers, you also have to be frustrated at, okay, the Kings already missed a three-point shot in this possession. You got to secure the rebound, though. You know, this opportunity and this foul call doesn't happen if you just grab the rebound like you need to after getting a stop. But that could also be, you know, Bennett's legs getting a little bit too tired because Quincy Davis was just able to go up and out-rebound him, you know, on that one-on-one possession.
Mullins checks back into the game as Amigo taking his free throws in front of an enthusiastic crowd. First one is a miss.
If the Kings are not able to pull this win out tonight, they are going to look back at the free throw line to be one of the causes that didn't allow them to escape with a win.
He's in the first, and he makes the adjustment on the second. Lioneers with the one possession lead, but dangerous passing. Evan fakes the handoff, looking for Bennett. Lots of help nearby. Overshoots the push shot, and now it's Zhuhao left wide open. With anticipation of the crowd, he misses the shot, but Byron Mullins on the rebound fouled.
And that foul was 94 feet from the basket, but it will give Byron Mullins 2 free throws because the Lioneers are over the penalty point already. So Byron Mullins, who has not got his offense going here today, will get another chance at the free throw line.
Between him and Kenny Manigault, they only have 2 points between the two of them. And suddenly it's getting a lot harder to shoot free throws in here. On the season, Hsinchu County Stadium seeing only 64% free throw shooting. which is the lowest mark in the Plus League this season. Bennett looking for Hall. They cover it up, but it's Bennett with the made shot and a free throw coming up.
And don't want to bail out the shooter, but sometimes offense is just too good. And right there, Anthony Bennett just showing us how can you stop a fadeaway jumper with two guys on you, and showed off his dance moves as well.
Three personal fouls on Manigault. Remember, the Lioneers started the half, 14-point lead. That and one is now 5-point lead as it's going to be a 3-second call. I believe it's going to be on Byron Mullins.
3-second violation.
But with 2 minutes left in the third, still a lot of basketball to be played before they get a reset. Another batted pass. Joseph Lin trying to find an outlet. It's Manigault, bounce to Amigo. Almost fell out of bounds. But the Lioneers able to get the defense. Send it down to White, who twists and turns and blows the close one.
Man, he's made a lot of shots tonight, but that was one of the easier ones he could have had.
Backdoor, and White gets the steal for himself. And Amigo will bump White off the spot for a foul.
Which is also going to give the Lioneers now, they get to go to the free throw line. We see the replay here, the missed opportunity by White, who had a nice pass on the drive.
Rattles in that free throw. White now with 6 points on the quarter, as predictably the Lioneers have kind of shortened up their rotations. Mboui and Evan Lee Jare, the only two subs in. They're going to bring in Quincy Davis for Amigo.
A big lineup right now. Looks like Iboka will come in to sort of counter that for the Lioneers on the next break. Try to make sure the Lioneers have enough size to defend the paint and rebound.
It's Mullins going at Xiaohei. He steps through and able to finish.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. If you have two guards on Mullins, Mullins still going to find a way to get through them and finish with that soft touch. Nice individual play by him on the post-up.
Theoretically, the Lioneers would have a shooting advantage, but right now, the Kings cover everything up. But backdoor to White. Couldn't get the slam, and they call a foul on the contest.
Yeah, definitely might have been some ball up top, but I do think that I heard a little bit of a slap as White was getting ready to hammer that one home.
And I will continue to remind all the imports in the Plus League, you cannot review fouls.
And that slap could have happened after the ball was initially blocked. So Byron Mullins still not liking the play. From our angle, it's hard to tell if there was arm first or part of the ball first. But either way, that's a explosive bang bang play. Not an easy call from the officials either way.
He'll take Manigault's spot on the low block as Venti now will try to organize the troops in a two-point guard lineup for the Kings. Joseph Lin on the down screen. He'll fire away. No. Iboka got a hand on it. Zembori with a rebound.
And that was a good key possession there for the Lioneers. Good stop here trying to extend this 6-point lead and get some momentum before they go into the fourth quarter.
Good fire by Bennett. He hit it. Got the switch on Joseph Lin, who gave him a little bit too much space. Back to a 9-point lead for the Lioneers as the Kings spread it wide. To the screener as Manigault gets to the cup and Quincy Davis to tap it back in. So the Kings tied the game up in the middle of the third quarter, but in the end, they only split the difference. It's going to be a 7-point Lioneers lead getting to the fourth and final frame. Oh, my PLG merch just waiting for you on the +League online store. Are you gonna buy it? The fans in attendance just did the Uni President 7-11 Lions fight song. And as the cheerleaders vacate the floor, we have the all-important fourth quarter coming up where it has been traditionally a weak spot for the Lioneers, but with just 12 minutes left before the Lunar New Year's break, you wonder if they can eke out a little bit more energy that they need to really put the clamps on the Kings' counterattack.
Yeah, and this would be huge for the Lioneers, who would love to go into that extended break with a win against one of these top two teams. They would really be heading in the right direction with this last weekend. But we'll see what kind of life these fans can give them, because these, like you said earlier, Lioneers played last night. They're going to need some to go deep into their pool of energy to finish this one out strong.
Dewey Hall, quick pass to White, who just misses. And Manigault took a shot to the head, which the referee eventually called. Get another look at the swipe on the head, and it is a correct call. Oscar trailing Venti. Manigault overpowered Dewey Hall, but they pass away from it. Now Q from the top. And there'll be a foul call as the shot was going up. So Dewey Hall looked like the veteran player after that exchange. There you see the swim move. And a good catch by the referees.
Holding his own against Manigault, who, you know, had some success on offense tonight, but not as much as he would like.
Down low as Iboka just lays it in softly. So the first scorer of the quarter goes to the Lioneers.
Two guys who have given some quality minutes to the Lioneers. Iboka and Evans both trying to create things and help their team to this victory here tonight.
Lioneers defend and they have a chance to make it a 10-point or more lead here.
Another foul on Manigal.
That's going to be his 5th personal.
And if you're the Lioneers, it's good to keep attacking. There's no Byron Mullins in there to protect the paint. So try to get to the basket. And if you can get in penalty for most of this 4th quarter, you'll be in good shape. Holding on to this 9-point lead.
And unfortunate there. Whoa. Oscar commits the foul. The referees are going to signal unsportsmanlike right away, and they're not even going to go to the monitor.
Clear path foul, so they got that turnover, and there's no one in between, you know, the ball and the basket. So you grab onto them like that, and you're going to get a free throw and maintain possession for the Kings.
From that back angle was not great as JJ misses his first free throw of the season. Oscar there, you see 4 personal fouls. They didn't have a great look, but you got a feeling like perhaps the handoff wasn't the best on the pass. Now JJ misses too, so I think we can say it now, the Kings are a little bit in their own head right now.
Those orange and purple balloons behind the basket have definitely helped out tonight in terms of the home team. They've been waving them, and free throws is such a mental thing, and the Hsinchu fans, the Lioneer fans, are trying to do everything they can do to help out.
Little curl play for Byron Mullins. He swishes the 3.
And that would be a huge lift for the Kings if Byron Mullins can get off and continue to stay hot outside. We know he's capable of hitting those 3-point shots, and he just hasn't been aggressive taking them so far tonight, but finally gets that one to go.
Lots of help on Oscar as White, 6 seconds on the clock, slips through the middle. And a brick off the backboard. By Mullins. 2 bounces in out and a foul on the rebound as Quincy Davis put it on rim.
And that is Quincy Davis's 5th offensive foul, if I'm not mistaken. And he has been active, and especially now, just with the current Lioneers offense, he's really able to get into the paint and be a bully down there and grab a lot of those offensive rebounds. And that's what's helped him lead to 15 points and now 16 points on the night.
Of course, making that first free throw all important. You are very close, Kirk. He has 4 offensive rebounds. And 3 on the defensive side as you see that total for the night. A valuable 2-for-2 free throw chip for the Kings. Of course, gotta go with your old veterans. Or, sorry, this is the English broadcast. We call them very experienced. They're very experienced.
There you go.
Oscar fouled, driving to the hoop. He'll have a chance at the free throw line now. And they get 3 fouls for the Kings and 3 fouls for the Lioneers. Bennett now in there. Evan passed into a turnover.
Might be the second time tonight I felt like Evan attacked the lane well, but just not looking for his own shot like he could have risen up there for a little mid-range jumper.
Pick and roll though, Byron Mullins calls for the travel. Nice slip pass by Venti there. But the Lioneers send enough help. They lead by 4, and you might have heard on the broadcast, they're going to go with their old standby. The Little Spain pick and roll as Bennett, nice adjustment. He's able to score with the left hand.
Yeah, great job attacking the rim. And Byron Mullins came over, tried to block the shot, which left the weak side rebound. All for Anthony Bennett. He cleaned it up.
Quincy Davis, no good there, but JJ picks him up and puts it through. Doesn't quite make up for the missed free throws, but he splits the difference and the deficit for the Kings. Bennett will try to get it back. No.
Both these teams slowing down a little bit here in the second half compared to the first half, where had a lot of offense, but he's going to make these clutch shots here late in the game to close it out.
There, Quincy Davis misfires well short. Xiaohei over to Bennett. The double team comes, in fact. That's how big of a threat he could be from the outside. Now Oscar dancing his step back three, misfired. And Venti, the smallest guy on the court right now, able to pick up the rebound. Post up from Mullins. His fadeaway is in.
Good composure by Vente, saw where the mismatch was patient on offense, and he gets his man Byron Mullins in a spot where he can be successful with it.
Active hands, and they call a turnover off of Evan. The Lioneers could elect a challenge, as they had Oscar screening for the much taller Evan there. So as looks like they're going to go to the monitor on it, but another look at Byron Mullins. That's a really good teaching moment there. He had his eyes not even focused on the rim and kind of lulled the defender to sleep there. The referees will head behind the monitor. So far on the fourth quarter, Lioneers have only secured 3 rebounds in total. And the Kings done a better job with 6. And interesting also to note, starter Xiao Sui has not even made it on the floor in the fourth quarter. Maybe the coaches figure they don't want to leave him in a mismatch situation where the Kings might want to back him up down low. So this is a little bit of a longer review than we're used to in the last few weeks. And it will be Lioneers basketball with 11 seconds on the shot clock. It's your turn to get a look as JJ really crowded the space.
Yeah, good
left
D.
hand is what they say was off of.
See what they can draw up here after the pause. Got to execute. In need of a good shot.
A foul first as Bennett eventually ended up on the ground.
That will be number 4. Looks like he's still down, but he's going to get up just fine.
You know what that proves, though? His teammates had poor awareness if the 2 towel boys were trying to help him out. As you see Venti call for the freedom of movement foul. His teammates got to have much better awareness to pick up your teammate. Those are hard-working lads. I don't know if they get anything extra for pulling up a 200-plus-pound basketball player.
I'm sure they enjoyed it very much.
Cross screen, but the Kings cover it up. Now Joker hopping for a jump shot. Leaves it short.
King's doing a good job making sure the Lioneers only get one chance at the rim. See on the other end if the Lioneers can continue to rebound the ball well. It's pretty even in that category here so far today.
Joseph Flynn in a little bit of trouble, able to get the pass off. Out to Mullins, his first touch in the possession, and he splashes it down. That's the Kings' first lead. As the Lioneers call timeout. A little discombobulated there. Played good defense for most of the possession, but we have one last break in the game before back for the rest of the action. Thank you for tuning into this Plus League English broadcast. The Kings turning in what was a broken play into a three-pointer by Byron Mullins. And his total on the game now up to 27. Still trailing tops of the game, Anthony Bennett's 31, but his three-point shooting has taken, I don't want to say a predictable, but an understandable dip in the later part of the game.
Yeah, and I mean, for the Lioneers, they've already scored more than their average per game, but after having such an explosive first half, their offense really has stalled a lot more here in the second half, and a lot of that can be fatigue after they played a game last night. And, you know, they didn't use a deep bench in the first half much, so a lot of these guys have played a lot of minutes so far.
Iboka, nice reach, and he'll get the layup in. Not the primary option there, but he's putting in another night of a strong effort. He's got 11. Joseph Flynn fakes right, then getting Joker to commit the foul. Gonna play the smarts on him there.
That's 4 team fouls on each team now, so any foul in here in the last 6 minutes, teams will be going to the stripe. If you're the Kings tonight, that might not be such a good thing, as they have struggled a little bit from the free throw line.
Pick and pop, Byron Mullins, no good. Kind of an interesting two-guard lineup with a lot of Joker and Oscar in there. Left with room, he leaves it short.
Lioneers not making the Kings work very hard on that possession. You'd like to see a little bit more ball movement. You can always get a three-point shot later on in the possession.
I haven't seen Byron Mullins make that many high-low passes, and that would have been a real good thread of the needle, but Bennett gets in front of that one. Amigo will check in for Ling Jingpang. So both teams bringing a little bit more of their main rotation. Lioneers show a 1-3-1 zone. Joseph Flynn picks up the dribble. 3 seconds on the clock. Give him go. He can't get it off in time. Now, great job by the Lioneers.
Yeah, definitely good defense. And some of that Byron Mullins there on that weak side block, and he never flashed high asking for the ball or didn't seal underneath the basket. So Kings not really taking advantage of their size on that last possession.
And I thought they had an opening when Quincy kicked it to Joseph Lin, but he chose to take a dribble. They got the switch. Evan left with so much room. Takes the deep two instead. And that is a poor decision. Byron Mullins put post up on the break. Back to Joe. Didn't get a clean catch. Fires anyways, and it's perfect. Now the pressure's on the Lioneers. Fatigue's kind of setting in, but a lot of game left. Bennett to Evan. This time he fires away. It's in!
Got a duel going on. Both teams back and forth. Still showing us they have enough legs, enough strength, desire to finish out this game, making shots.
And the one we don't expect, Venti. Hong-San kind of got knocked down as the last shot was going up. Getting a little bit of extra word in with the referees and some of the courtside fans. Oscar penetrating, pumps on the floater, but it's out and a chance to run for the Kings. Saved by Joseph Lin. Amigo right into the hands of Evan. And a foul as Oscar is about to make a move, but there'll be free throws coming up. A missed opportunity there for the Kings in transition, but the Lioneers, that's the one guy that knows what to do on the transition opportunities. The big free throws. Oscar rattles in the first. Kind of a subdued scoring performance, but you know he's got to fight through a lot of screening action. Likes of Amigo or Manigault want to back him down on the block. And a lucky ricochet right to Xiao Sun-Yi.
Every possession so important now for the Lioneers, down by just 2.
Bennett kind of psyched himself out, and a nice rebound by Mullins through contact. King is trying to organize a play. The Lioneers kind of, in some sense, of an amoeba zone. It's Amigo realizing the shot clock ran down. Hugh to Joseph. Slips through, alley to Byron Mullins, and the lucky bounce, no, Q misses the second, and Bennett taking it away. Chance to Tyre to take the lead. In transition, it's Anthony Bennett with the lay-in.
Showing some life, and man, Quincy Davis with 3 offensive rebounds on the last possession alone, yet they weren't able to capitalize off of it, and that has not been a trend so far today, but the Lioneers are happy to see multiple shots just roll out.
And a timeout by the Kings.
Right where we need to be, okay?
Coach Marchand trying to instill some calm over there, but if I were to venture a guess, in some sense, the Lioneers could use this break more than they did.
They go 3-2 zone again.
Everybody on the floor was gassed.
Play out of shoulder. Venti, Amigo, Joe, Byron, and Q. Q, try to get inside position on whatever these bigs down here. You guys can move it side to side. Once we get the ball into the middle of Byron, Amigo, Joe to the corner. Byron, you might have one of them here, Q underneath, or a one-on-one drive, okay? If you don't like it, you can end up popping out and Amigo can be here in the middle. You guys can mix it up, okay? Offensively.
At the previous play, you knew the pick and roll was coming, and Byron Mullins had to change it into a flip. And kind of shades of game 1 of the first ever Plus League playoff games. Quincy Davis with a few opportunities, but could not put it through. So after Coach Greg in the Lioneers huddle, it's time for the fans to inject some life. The Kings free throw shooting at home, 75%, that top line, 74% everywhere else, but the one place that gives them problems, 57% here at Hsinchu County Stadium tonight, 17 of 31. And I think the opposite is also true. The Lioneers have been pretty good from the free throw line. And sans Oscar's 1-for-2 trip, which Xiao Sui was able to get the board on.
Yeah, those free throws can make a difference in a tight game like this for sure. But right now, the Kings with the ball, they want to try to use their size. Drew up. We'll see if Byron Mullins is able to attack the basket. We haven't seen him do that as much as we saw in the game last week, where he would catch the ball and drive. He has had some three-point shots in this quarter, though, so see if they look to him.
Oscar jumps the pass, and he'll back it out. Byron Mullins guarding the hoop. There, surprises him, and he lays it in with the right hand.
Amazing quickness and, man, just deception. Gets in the lane. Looks like he doesn't want to shoot it, but then floats it in. And what big play on both the defensive and offensive side for the captain, Oscar.
Familiar look for Bennett, as he played a lot of in the 1-3-1 again as a member of the Steelers last year. Amigo overshoots it. Venti batting it out of bounds. Look out there, as Evan will kind of run into the equipment on the scorer's table.
They're saying that Evans had possession of it, so they're going to reset the shot clock, which he technically did control it, but he didn't have control of his body falling out of bounds. He's just more saving the possession, so it's a tough call.
They will go to the monitor to at least give it another look.
I mean, because possession, yeah, you have it with two hands, but if your body's falling out of bounds, you're not really in control of it, I would say, too much. I don't know, if he would have just let it go out of bounds, the shot clock would have expired, but is that really control when half your body's leaning outside of bounds is what they're going to have to determine.
Definitely the tricky thing as the referee there is you're trying to get out of the way while he actually kind of crashes into you.
You know, like what determines having control of the ball or maintaining possession? Do you have to have 2 feet on the ground? Or is just 2 hands while falling out of bounds actually count as you're in control and possession of the ball?
Because similarly, tapping the ball out of bounds would be obviously a clear indication. But stay with the Kings, they say.
That's just bad luck, because if Evans lets it go out of bounds right here, then there's, you know, 0.5 seconds on the clock, or the shot clock. And so just a tough break there for the home team.
Definitely interesting technicality, but again, Venti holds his hand in the right place in the right time.
And it resets all the way to 24, even though they're in the front court. They're not in the back court.
Means that the Kings will have 10 more seconds to figure out this Lioneers zone. They're trying to screen for Amigo. Gets it back. Plenty of time left on the clock. He'll go for the layup. Foul on the way down.
Really one of the only things Amigo has had success with tonight is driving the ball and getting fouled. So we'll see if he can tie this game up at the free throw line. Percentage-wise, you'd say he's bound to miss one, but he might be able to change that luck here with this trip.
Every single free throw important. And of course, the magnitude just increases toward the end of the game. Xiao Sui with 5 personal fouls. Amigo sinks the first. His point total up to 12 now. He's not surpassed his season average for 3 consecutive games. That was 18 points 3 weeks ago. Bennett on the handoff, turns and fires. No good. Ball right to Quincy Davis. Amigo up top. Down to Joseph Lin, the dribble and shot, no. Ball bounced to Oscar, he'll fire up the engines, tough shot, no. Bennett right there, and the two-handed slam. Well, look out, here come the Kings.
Under a minute left, we'll see if they can get a stop.
Joseph Lin left free, and he puts it through.
Not the guy you can leave open, even if it's in transition. Joseph Lin has been a thorn in the side of these Lioneers teams on all three of their games.
Only 3 for 9 shooting the 3, but that one is a big one as Oscar forced into a miss by Mullins.
Great take for him.
Came in there just in time. They're up by 1. They can't ice the clock. Can't afford to give up a 3. Amigo with Joseph Lin, 4 seconds on the clock. Mullins to Amigo, they get in front of it, it's out of bounds. 0.6 on the clock.
What you have to be careful is you can get a catch and shoot here, you know, with 0.6. It doesn't have to be a tip, but what the Lioneers got to focus on is make sure they don't give up an offensive rebound, because Quincy Davis has had a handful of those today. Byron Mullins in the game, so even if you can't get a quality shot with 0.6, it doesn't mean that they can't get an offensive rebound and then be forced to be fouled.
Coach Marchand getting the attention of the crew chief. And we have an interesting situation where they're confirming the rule about the timeout. It will be a full timeout. So there's also a chance for the Lioneers to set up a lot of contingency plans as well.
Yeah, they want to get a stop first, but plenty of time for them to get this rebound or get the ball and get a quality look at the rim.
Joe,
but man, going back to that last play with Oscar's drive, I mean, right underneath the hoop, you know, he got the shot he wanted. He definitely did have to think about Byron Mullins there, but man, that one could have dropped for him.
You're going to sprint down here on the baseline and call for the ball. Right as this happens, Venti, you're going to cut to the basket, set a screen on Byron's guy. You're going to curl over the top. Joe, throw it right at the rim, right for Byron to get it. As this is happening, Q, you set one for Amigo. You're flying off here to the corner. You have 2 options. Byron up top, high at the rim, or you have Amigo here. It's just got to be a catch and finish or a catch and shot.
We have to get back. We have to get back. After the shot, we have to get back.
You have to sprint back. If we don't have it, you got to sprint back and get a rebound. Okay? What's that?
Like we said before, the Kings really did a great job executing baseline out of bounds on the last game against the Lioneers. As you see, somewhere between Guo Shaojie and Bennett, and if not Amigo, it's definitely hard to tell. Guo Shaojie had inside leverage on Amigo.
So we'll see here. Good reminder by the Kings in the timeout. After you shoot the ball, they definitely want to hustle back on defense, because the Lioneers will try to be pushing and would love to grab a rebound and get a fast break opportunity here.
Got a ball, and they don't call the shot clock violation. Hall to the rim, got it on target and in. 4.5 seconds left, and they call their last timeout.
And that's what we were trying to refer to. You never know. When you're trying to score with 0.6 seconds, it's easy to misplace the ball or force a tough pass. And the Lioneers got exactly that. And man, did they capitalize on the fast break opportunity.
They also catch a break because the referees don't call a shot clock violation, as we see Hsinchu splitting the defense and gaining it up just right for the score. PLEAGUE and Venti, the last guy's back. It wasn't good enough. They only have a 1-point lead, so the Kings have pretty much the entire playbook available to them. But this time it's going to be a sideline out of bounds.
Yeah, we know that Joseph Lin has been making some outside shots. Byron Mullins, we know Amigo likes to take it to the basket. And 4 seconds left, plenty of time to catch the ball and try to drive it in. So see what the Kings draw up here.
The Lioneers have only dropped 2 games on this homestand. Certainly not what the expectations were, the way they were playing up until this extended homestand. But it's still an opportunity to defend and sweep the hold on the weekend.
Looks like these Lioneer fans are going to stay on their feet for this last 4 seconds. Their team has given a valiant effort today, and it all comes down to this, though, just one last defensive stand.
Even a little bit of extra time as the crew chief reminds the scorers table who's got what timeouts left. It's going to be Iboka on the inbounder. Venti to inbound. Joseph the first option. He's open. Evan covers up. He's got an opportunity. Iboka gets in front. Joe puts it on target. No good. And that's the game.
Wow, what a look. They had the opportunity. Great execution there. Tough defense, but they still did have a look. And what a win for the Lioneers.
The Kings make up 13 points in the second half, but it was 1 too few. And the Lioneers will come away with a victory, 107-106.
Yeah, the Lioneers were able to do just enough to hold on. You see how, each quarter of the game, they slowed down a little bit on offense. 34, 32, 23, only 18 points in the fourth quarter, but man, when they needed to stop and when they needed the big baskets, they were able to deliver.
I think the unsung hero of that last play was Iboka, getting enough of a body on the Byron Mullins, or it was against the pass. I don't think that's a sight the Lioneers want to have. No Anthony Bennett for the rest of the way. The camera angle from Marchand's perspective, as the pass got batted away and the putback attempt by Joe. He just didn't have enough legs under him after the pass, jump pass in the air.
You can go back to that pass. It almost is a pass Joseph Lin could have lobbed to Mullins. He definitely had that advantage with the lob pass, and Mullins could have gone up and caught it, but because it was a lower pass, it was able to be deflected.
He was the hero in previous games, but probably a little bit more out of the Lioneers defense than his own misgivings, because if not for the pass, he might have thought about taking the shot himself. So we finally put together the post-game interview. Jia Yi is standing by here with Zhu Yunhao.
场面访问到的就是朱云豪啦，惊涛骇浪中，工程师还是拿下了胜利。云豪有没有想要先跟现场的球迷们说句话呢？
大家谢谢你们来看我们比赛。那 新年快乐！
哇，新年快乐！好了，那宇豪聊一下最后一波4秒的上篮，你选择的是超节后直接的净空篮筐哦，聊一下这个进攻。
因为刚好他们5个人都在禁区嘛，那拿到球往前推，他们就1个人回防啊。我们是3打1，那我想说有这个机会，我就不叫短暂停。
哇，也是冲得非常的漂亮。那另外呢，其实可以看得出来，在下半场，不管是第3节或是第4节，整个比赛的节奏是相对比较混乱的。在这样的情况之下，你自己怎么保持专注呢？
其实我上半场打得比较不好。那我就是进休息室洗把脸嘛，跟自己说没关系，再来，然后更专注在球场上，然后去提醒队友应该要怎么去做进攻，怎么去做防守。
好，不到最后一刻永不放弃。同时呢，这也是过年前的最后一场比赛，看起来呢后辛巴时代球队的整合是越来越好了。那对自己呢这个半季的表现满意吗 ？Final fourth quarter
可圈可点，那失误再少一点会更棒。
哇，好，谢谢云豪，也谢谢现场所有的球迷。那休息一下，继续。
Outside shots today, but him driving to the basket on that last play was the biggest play of the game for sure, and good for him, good for his confidence as he continues to grow as an important piece and important player on this Lioneers team.
最重要是，谢谢所有的支持及强年，新年快乐！球迷，统一7-114队球迷在哪里？下一次就换我们去台南喽，谢谢。好，再一次感谢呢梦溪女孩现场的朋友，最热情的掌声，谢谢 PLEAGUE。然后今天在赛前，有人一大早就来排队，要参加女孩签名会了，坐在原地，谢谢大家。
The Lioneers hang on in the end. A 107-106 is the final score. And there were many heroes in this game. Early on in the game, of course, Anthony Bennett played a huge role. And Tariqa White was able to get his scoring prowess. Oscar dictated the pace. And Zhu Yinghao with, of course, the finishing touch to get the victory. As we said, one last game of this Lunar New Year's, Dreamers Pilots, tomorrow at Taoyuan Arena. Well, I guess the only positive for the Kings is you knew they had a comeback in them, and they were able to get the lead in the end, but 1 or 2 details missed, and of course a lot of missed free throws sealed their fate.
Yeah, definitely free throws is something they got to look at to do better in. You know, they did have a great second half and really outscored the Lioneers, but they just found themselves with that big hole, took a lot of energy to come out with, and they got to give credit to the Lioneers hitting big shots in the end.
Both teams with only one game, both against the Dreamers after the Lunar New Year's break, so a well-deserved weekend off for both squads, though the Kings right now facing a situation where they're in second place tonight, and depending on the results on tomorrow's Pilots game, could be either first or second place. Well, thanks, Kirk, for joining our broadcast. It was a lot of fun tonight. And on behalf of Kyle, Wang Boling, the 6 team in our league and league operations, I've been Ryan Chen. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.